Hi, this is Rick with AmazingAccuracy.com, and today is August 5th, 2014. It is currently 8:43 p.m. Chicago time. We are currently looking at the live cattle futures daily chart, and what I want to point out here is that I have applied 45-degree squares, that's time price squaring, utilizing my provisions charting software here, right off the low of July 11th, and we can see that as prices rose, it came up here and hit resistance on July 28th, and then came to the first square where it reversed, and then started coming down. And then since August 1st, we can see we've had 3 straight days of prices riding up along this angle line here. Within the 45-degree square, it's a 45-degree line. You can call that 45, you can call that 22 and a half. I really don't care. All I want to point out here is that prices are riding along the support line here, and I'm expecting a break. Now, this is August 5th, that is today, and it is within 1 day, trading day, of where we would expect a cycle turn. We've already had one yesterday here. And for this one, we already had one up here. But it's possible we could get another one here. We're still within the realm here. So, either this day, today, August 5th, or potentially then August 6th, if it decides to ride up along this support line one more day, is a high probability that prices are going to break below this support line here and start to move down. In the current nearby target date for a downward move would be around August 11th, and we're looking for one right now for the 5th, which is today, or we can allow it 1 day off here, and it will be within this one here for 8/6. Either one, but we're looking for it to break below this line sometime this week, start breaking below and moving lower. Now, there's other reasons why. Excuse me. If you take a look at down here, I'm using some traditional indicators. For example, I have the MACD and the DMI, also known as AKA the ADX. And if you'll notice here, the ADX had suggested that this bullish trend here in the live cattle had come to its end, but then live cattle really quickly after several days said, no, I'm going to go for one more push. And I say one more push, and I'll show you in a minute why one more push, looking at the weekly and monthly chart. But if you look here on the MACD, notice how although the MACD put in its swing top here for this top here, notice that for this swing top here, it did not move as high. This is called a bearish divergence. And again, the DMI or ADX was starting to go back up again, saying, okay, yes, this is a trend. And then it has then again gone off, saying trend over for the second time within a month period. This is a strong indication that the live cattle market is likely exhausted. It has likely run its course. But let's just go ahead and take a look at some other pieces of information. Here on the weekly chart, we can see that right here, this is a weekly cycle turn day, a weekly F date, and it suggests that we're likely going to get a weekly swing top here. You notice that for the exact week that didn't happen. Last week it ticked just a couple of ticks or so above the previous week and has gone down, and it's still in a bearish mode. This is only one price bar removed from the center of this, which is an acceptable deviation, and I'm looking for prices to likely move below this low, confirming this high as a weekly swing top to go with this forecast of this cycle turn that is indicated by the red diamond and also indicated by the tech timer that I have dated here for 7/25. Okay, so the downward is expected to be come very quickly. In other words, the weekly swing bottom, such as here, likely come real quickly if prices right now go below this low, because as you can see, it'll be entering into the next time period here, the 8:15, 8:15 time period, where we would expect another weekly swing. So we would likely see that then try to rally again, perhaps, and then that would bring us to this very significant period here, September 19th, where I'm getting a strong indication for a weekly turn. Now, whether it will go higher than this high here, I doubt it, but it's possible. But let's go to the monthly, and I'll show you why I have my doubts. Though, again, I say it's possible. I mean, nobody could be 100% certain, but I'm just showing you some really good information here. For example, this is the monthly chart of live cattle, and if you'll notice, I've applied the 90-degree time price squares off the low that was formed in May of 2013. You can see that the very top of last month, the very top of July 2014, smacked right into resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4 90-degree moves vertically, which is a complete circle, 360-degree move, and bam, it hits resistance. And we can see that right now in the month of August, we are currently in a slight bearishness now, and we're well removed from that high right now. Very high probability that we could be looking at this high holding for live cattle. Now, we don't have any indication yet here that this trend is over. However, right here on the ADX, we can see that we're getting this bend over on the bullish line. If this market ends up closing for August in a bearish note, that's going to stay, because right now it's in flux, because this price bar is still forming for August. If it stays pointing down like this, in all likelihood it's going to continue down. This is going to continue up, and we're going to start seeing this line taper off, and like it did back here, stating end of major trend. Okay, and then of course we would like to see the crossover on the MACD, but right now, if we get this to be a bearish month, then that histogram bar is going to be reduced in comparison to the previous bar, which is the beginning of a decline in this pattern here of the histogram, which would indicate that the signal and oscillator lines are now starting to converge on each other. Okay, anyway, that is the current forecast of live cattle. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, support these videos. Also, you'll be getting them in a timely manner, because all my forecasts are put out in advance of the events. None of it is done in hindsight. Also, I have a free newsletter at the website. If you go to amazingaccuracy.com or fdatesforum.com, you'll find a form there that you can fill out for my free newsletter. Thank you for watching.